the other comedian. He holds the world record for internet downloads. He has sold 5 million DVDs worldwide and is the only British performer to write and star in The Simpsons. He has won an Emmy, 2 Golden Globes and 6 BAFTAs, and now has the fastest-selling live tour in history. So who are you going to be for us tonight?
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Ricky Gervais.
So now I'm dangerous Mr. Midas himself, the Podfather, the phenomenon that is the king of comedy, Ricky Gervais.
Thank you. Not too over the top, is it? Spent the entire budget on that. Just me and a microphone now. Look, not even a coat hook. Unbelievable. Oh. Some comedians have a stool out on stage for their drink or whatever. No. One of the awards there. Not the real thing, a much bigger version of the real thing. I don't want you to think I'm a dwarf. Nothing wrong with dwarfs. I'm just not one. People go, oh, you can't have a go at dwarfs. You can, that's what you can have a go at them, really. Fundamentalist terrorists I stay away from. Dwarfs, what are they going to do? What an amazing welcome. It's fantastic to be in London. As far as I'm concerned, the tour starts now. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I say the tour starts apart from Scotland and Brighton. I did a few charity gigs in the year to warm up. I know what you're thinking straight away. Ricky Gervais, are you still doing stuff for charity? Shut up. What? You do too much. I don't. What? How much did I raise for cancer alone last year? It doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't. Give us a ballpark figure. Ooh. Millions, it was millions. And they're welcome to it. But I will say this, if I ever get cancer myself, I'm going to go into the nearest hospital and go, right, I paid for that machine. Get that little bald fucker off it. Talking of little bald fuckers, I did the teenage cancer gig, at the Albert Hall last year. I'd done it 2 years before as well. I did it in 2004, but they called again last year. We're still ill. You lasted. Right, so... No, it's a great gig, and the kids with cancer getting free and everything. And you meet them afterwards and stuff. And I was doing the gig this last year, and I looked down and I recognised one of them. I thought, oh yeah, he came backstage 2 years ago. He was telling me about his illness, and he said he was 18. And that was then, that was 2 years ago, so now he must be 20. So why the fuck is he still a teenager? Do you know what I mean? Lying little shit. He wasn't lying about the cancer, he was riddled with it. It hurt him to laugh, but he shouldn't be... And I was doing the gig, and he was laughing along, and I was thinking, yeah, you laugh it up, mate. I was fuming. And it got too much for me, I'm human. So I went, all right, mate, I recognise you. I went, came backstage 2 years ago, I went, yeah. You said you're 18 then? He went, yeah, so you're 20 now? He went, yeah. I said, get out. Get out. I called the security. He struggled, but he was weak. They'd worked out, you could see. Although they had trouble getting hold of him to start with, and then they got him in a... No. And his drip nearly had someone's eye out. I go, get him out. The crowd started booing. I went, hear that? They don't want to see someone like you take the piss out of me. No, it's a great gig, and it is at the Albert Hall, home to Hitler's other testicle. Hitler has only got one ball. The other is in the Albert Hall. I didn't see it, and I looked around for it, which is suspicious. If I had that, I'd have it in the foyer. On a plinth in a glass cabinet. In an egg cup. I'd love to look at that. Not in a gay way. I wouldn't be going, oh, there's a lovely bit of old bollock. I'd be going, that's the physical and symbolic embodiment of pure evil. That's Hitler's seed. Hitler has only got one ball. The other is in the Albert Hall. His mother has got the other. Why do you have three? It doesn't make any sense at all. And why would she have that? Why would your mother keep that, really? Unless she's going, look, he's my son and I love him, but he's a wrong un. I know it. I don't want him breeding. I'm keeping back Hitler's testicle. Well, she wouldn't say, she'd say my Adolf's, wouldn't she? That name's died out, isn't it? No one's calling their kid Adolf. There's no little Adolfs. I don't know anyone who's got a, what's it, Adolf. No little kids go into school. Loads of Robbies and Kylies, but you don't hear the teacher doing the register. You know, Brittany here, Justin here, Adolf here. You don't... Fascinating fact about Hitler. People always learn stuff from my lectures. No. He got his image from Charlie Chaplin. Sounds like a joke, absolutely true. Chaplin had that little moustache first, and he loved him. He absolutely loved Chaplin. He had his films flown in from Hollywood. He watched The Great Dictator twice, even though it was dissing him. He loved it. And I always wondered why, through history, only two people had those silly little half moustaches. He got it from him. And I think of the day he had that done, and went to see his generals, as usual. Goebbels, Goering, Himmler. And he goes, all right. What? I've shaved the sides off a bit, innit? Why? Be like Charlie Chaplin? The comedian? Yeah. Are you thinking of doing comedy? I was. Really? Yeah, why not? Well, we don't find you funny. Careful. Cheers. I did a big charity gig in New York last year for autism. And like most people, my only experience of autism until recently was Dustin Hoffman's brilliant portrayal in Rain Man. But I've just got a new house, and the neighbours were coming round and poking their noses in. We're doing some building work, and we need planning permission, so we're being nice to them for now, and then they can fuck off. Big gate. Fuck off. And one couple's got an autistic son, and the mother was talking to me and said, oh, this is Douglas, he's 17. He hasn't got any friends because he never goes out. So creeping, I said, well, I'll take him out. She went, really? Yeah, so I went back on the Saturday, and she went, oh, he loves the zoo. And the zoo's only about a mile from this new house. So I'm walking down the street with Douglas, and he's like this. He doesn't take his eyes off his mum all the way down. He's like that. All the way down. And she's in the doorway, and she's waving back at him, and she's crying. And eventually she sort of goes in and shuts the door. And I hailed a cab and said, right, take us to the casino. You've got to make it work here, ain't you? So, not going to be a completely wasted day. Do you know what I mean? So, and I can sign one person in, so I signed him in. He had a little suit on and everything. I think it's going to be brilliant. So I went straight to the blackjack table. That's their best one, I think. I'm not a doctor, but I think that's... they love that. They love that. I said, OK, Dougie, you know the score. Bet 2 for good and 1 for bad. Do you understand? He went, yeah. I went, brilliant. So I bet £1,000 down in half hour. I went, Dougie, do that thing, count the cards, know what good cards come, remember all the cards, do that thing, whatever it is, right? And tell me to bet 2 for good. He went, yeah. Another £1,000 down. I thought, what sort of an autistic... So I was confused. I threw some toothpicks on the carpet. I said, how many? He went, I don't know. I said, there's 7. I can see there's 7 from here. Wasters. So I took him back home, went to the mother, there's been a mistake. He walks like Rain Man, but he's got none of that clever shit. We're building a swimming pool, live with it. You know what I mean? So they better give us planning permission. If they don't, I'm going to keep the house, but I'm going to rent it out for £1 a week to some crackheads. How do you like them as neighbours? One of the few pleasures of fame is that you can do good things, but in all honesty, I think some causes are more worthy than others. Joking aside, cancer's a very worthy cause. Autism's a very worthy cause. But I got asked to do a benefit gig recently for sufferers of obesity. What? She went, sufferers of obesity. I went, you mean fat people? She went, no, because obesity is... Well, she actually went, no, because obesity... She was eating, of course she was eating. She was peckish between snacks. And, no. But she said, obesity is a disease. No, it's not, is it? You just like eating, don't you? No, it's not, is it? Oh, is that a disease? Oh, I'm so fucking ill. Oh, I'm well ill. Oh, I'm really ill. I said to her, what's the disease? She went, everything tastes good. Everything? Yeah, not salads. No, salads. Oh, it's not a disease, is it? Leprosy is a disease. Can you imagine Jesus in the temple? People come up to him in bandages going, Jesus, my face is falling off. Can't stop now, it's a fat bird and a third pie. They eat too much. That's what does it. Simple science. But they complain, don't they, fat people? They complain about the situation. They go, no. I'm getting fat. Aeroplane seats. They're not big enough for someone like me. No, they're not. Because if they were, we'd only get 12 fucking people on the plane. Unbelievable. It's not fair. It is fair. That's what happens. And if we're talking about fairness in aeroplanes, why is it I get the same luggage allowance as a bloke who's 40 stone? Why is that allowed? We're both allowed 32 kilograms on the plane. I go, no, he used up his 32 kilograms on his tits. It's not a disease. I saw a documentary about a woman who was 28 stone, right? Because she ate 10 pie and chips a day. That'll do it. 10 separate meals of pie and chips. That's all she ate. 10 separate trips to the chip shop. In a cab. Didn't even walk that. Wasted calories. So they wired her jaw together. So she liquidized 10 pie and chips a day. Now she's on pie smoothies. Now she's not even chewing. That used up 5 calories. Do you know what I mean? So she gets fatter. They take her to hospital to have that operation where they staple your stomach together. And she's sitting in hospital looking all depressed. Well, you can't eat for an hour before an operation, can you? And she went, it's a really dangerous procedure, but it's the only option left. One, jogging? You don't even walk. Salads? You don't like the taste. Right. 9 pie and chips a day? It's a start, isn't it? It's a starter to her. I'm not having a go. I'm a bit overweight myself. The other night someone shouted, no shit. Oh. I thought, could be that. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You go to the doctor, he goes, no, you're not fat, you're constipated. I had to go to the doctor to have a medical for this talk. I've had medicals before for TV work. They check your pulse and go, yeah, fine, you're not going to die in the next 3 weeks. But I always think, what if I fail the medical? What if they say, no, you're not fit enough, you can't do the TV work? Then I see Johnny Vegas on telly and I think, I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? He's like my canary down the mine. If I'm in a restaurant, I go, do you want a pudding? I go, is Johnny Vegas still alive? They go, yeah. I go, bring it on. Okay, now. So I went along to Harley Street, and the doctor said, it's a bit more thorough than usual. It's a big talk. So we need a urine sample. I went, fine, yeah. So he gave me the little thing in the bag to put it in. Did that. Came back to him, good as gold. He went, oh, can you strip down to your boxer shorts? I thought, this is thorough. I've not had to do that before. But I stripped down to my boxer shorts. Oh, for fuck's sake. The one day I wear white boxer shorts. big wet patch from the wee. Why didn't he warn me? Why didn't he say, be careful, I'll be checking your pants in a minute? He's, you know, and there's nothing I could do. I just stood there, and and it was one of those pairs just had a slit, and I tried to sort of pull it over, and it pinged back, and he saw it. I saw the moment he saw it. There's nothing I could do, and I was thinking, oh, sorry, he's a doctor, he can't tell anyone. Then I thought, if I was a doctor, I'd tell everyone everything. I would. I'd come over and go, you'll never guess what I found up an arse today. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to tell everyone. And I had to touch my toes as well, which sounds all right in front of a doctor, but it's still a man you haven't met before in pants that you've wet. So you feel really vulnerable and you try and make everything look okay in the doctors, don't you? They go, does that hurt? Definitely not. Definitely not. Touch your toes? Easy, right? And the truth is, I've got to that age where I have to make a sort of noise to get me up and down now. Do you know what I mean? That didn't happen in your 20s. 20s, bang. 30s, bang. 40s, you go, why do you do that? I think it's a warning to family and friends. That they hear that, I go, oh, Grandad's bending over. And he's up, on with the barbecue. But things happen with age. But it's good and bad. I'm at that age now where it's totally acceptable for me to back in a lorry driver I've never met before. Do you know what I mean? If you're 20 and really skinny, they go, fuck off, mate. But I can go, you're all right, you're all right. Go on, go on. Woo! Be careful, clods round the corner. Do you do that? Do you sort of be a bit more working class, a bit tougher with, like, people in boiler suits? All right, mate, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Do you want a cup of fucking tea? Like that. Anyway, I wet myself. Good. After I came back, I told my friend about the wee incident, and my friend went, oh, you should have gone commando. What? That would have been less embarrassing, wouldn't it? So now I look down, I think, oh, what can I do? Oh, I know, they're coming off too. That's as dry as a bone, Doc. Should have gone commando. Do commandos not wear pants? Why is it called? They must wear pants, don't they? Yeah. Why are you wearing pants? What? I'm a commander and I'm wearing pants. I've never heard that phrase before. I've never heard that phrase. They're going to see that. A little bit. Should have gone commando. But I am a little bit overweight myself, and I never worried about it before I was famous. And I'm not vainer now. It's that you read about yourself, and the papers need an adjective. They can't just say, Ricky Gervais, comedian. They say things like, Ricky Gervais, tubby comedian. Why say that? Why? Don't give them clues. Let them make their own minds up. One said, rotund comic. Rotund? That's like a giant wombat. I'm not rotund. I've been referred to as a chubby funster. That's a gay porn star, isn't it? It's me, the chubby funster. I was jogging once with my iPod. Yeah, looking good. Paparazzi got me. Full page in the Sun the next day with the headline, iPodge you. Cheeky bastards. Dawn French has had a go at my weight. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. French and Saunders Christmas special last year. I love French and Saunders. I think they're great. I've liked them for a long time. I think they're really good performers. And I was watching this at home. Sketch comes on. Bubbly Dawn knocking on the door of a house. Inside is Jennifer going, who is it, please? Yes, who is it, please? It's me. Who's me? Me, the little fat one with the big ego. She opens the door. Oh, I thought you meant Ricky Gervais. Good gag. No, it is a good gag. If you hand it out, you've got to take it. Comedians have a go, you know, it's fine. And she's putting herself down. She's lumping us both in. You know what I mean? She's saying, we both got egos. We probably have got egos. We're performers. Although, if Dawn was here, you wouldn't be able to see that. I'm joking. I'm joking. You'd be able to see some of it, wouldn't you? But it would spell Roy. Oh dear. She started it. No, she's putting us both down. She's going, we both got egos and we're both fat, and we are both fat. Different categories though, isn't there? There's different weight classes. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't tell the whole story. On a scale of too thin, thin, average, bit fat, me, Dawn. She started it. It's not a disease. Therefore, it's not a worthy cause. Talking of which, saw someone collecting the other day for ME. Not MS, not the crippling wasting disease. Oh no, ME. That's the one where don't feel like going to work today. Ding, 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 ding. Oh. ME. I apologise to anyone who suffers from ME. You're not going to have a go, are you? No. I do apologise, because I've since learnt that it is a real disease. I thought it was psychosomatic, but it's physiological. And it's a very misunderstood disease as well, so it's easy to ridicule it. I suppose it's because the symptoms aren't apparent. It's not like losing a limb. They go, we're tired, and we go, well, how do we know that? And it sounds like a mollycoddling society that accepts this new disease that wasn't around 100 years ago. You know, you don't see it in third world countries. You'd never hear a starving African complaining about having ME. Do you know what I mean? Sucky. Walk to the well. This is not racist, okay? I don't want to have my perfume contract taken away like Jade Goody. It got madder and madder, didn't it, that Celebrity Big Brother? I mean, it started off well. Opening night, H from Steps comes out as gay, and we're all meant to go, you're joking. And his name's Ian Watkins. Where's the H? All these years, that must have just stood for homosexual. He was trying to give us clues, wasn't he? He was trying to come out. Or, what's your name? Or, just call me H. It's not racist. Sucky. What? Delicate stuff, this. One false move and I'm Jim Davidson. It's all right. Relax, I know what I'm doing. It's the accent, isn't it, that we're... And I'm not very good at accents either. I'm trying to do Nelson Mandela. So I'll give it a bit of dignity. He's sort of, he's sort of high, isn't he? So he says things like, Winnie, what are you burying in the garden? It's not racist, it's fine, isn't it? It's an impression. People are very worried about that, aren't they? They go, is that racist? Can you say that? Well, we're taken the wrong way, particularly this year, because it's 200 years since the abolition of slavery, so awareness is heightened. But that wasn't the end of racism. It was still inherent in society as late as the 50s and 60s in England and America. And one incident sparked off the civil rights movement. A black woman called Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white person on a bus. It was the law, but she'd had enough. And she was arrested. But then that law was changed. But she didn't stop there. She started sitting in those seats meant for disabled people. Unbelievable. She talked to the driver when the bus was in motion. Did she always have the correct change ready? Did she bollocks? What was her problem? Sucky. They're starving. I've forgotten the point of this. Oh, Emmy. Sucky. Walk many miles to the well. That was all right. That wasn't too bad. Fuck off, 6 BAFTAs. Thank you. It's actually 7. Oh, I forgot. Who's counting? I am. Suki, walk many miles to the well and fetch the water and come back. That was Yorkshire. What the fuck am I doing? I don't know. Shush. Right. It's not worth it. Right. Just... Oh, Suki, I'm reet parched. Go to it well with it. Oh, Suki. Suki. Suki, my daughter. Walk many miles to the well. Suki, walk to the well. He's trying to be casual, like it's no big thing. He doesn't know anything wrong, innit? He's just a normal day. Suki, walk to the well and fetch the water and come back. Oh, fuck that. Why is it that word? Suki. Suki. Oh, fucking hell. Suki, walk to the well and fetch the water and bring it back. So, whoa, shut up, that was all right. Fucking hell. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right. Suki, walk to the well and fetch the water and bring it back to mash the grain. But father, I cannot walk to the well and fetch the water and bring it back to mash the grain. Suki, why can't you walk to the well and fetch the water and bring it back to mash the grain? Emmy. I told you it wasn't worth it. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, the funny side of famine. Cheers. I did do charity work before I was famous. When I worked at the Students' Union, the University of London, one of the first big charities I got involved with was the Terence Higgins Trust, the big AIDS charity, and it was mid to late 80s, and people were like, what's this new thing called AIDS? What is... I mean, it's gone from strength to strength now. It's doing brilliantly. It's gone global. Got its own day and everything. 1st of December, World AIDS Day. I don't think it'll ever pick up like Christmas. We don't do anything in our house. There's no decorations. But I discovered something. You're still learning. The first HIV virus was a combination of 2 separate viruses that combined in rhesus monkeys, and it made this rudimentary form of AIDS. And it was fatal to them, but this was passed to chimpanzees. Sometimes chimps would get a bloodlust and eat a rhesus monkey, and it evolved and mutated in chimps. And because we're 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, it was able to be passed to humans. And the first human contracted AIDS when he was chopping up chimp meat and cut his finger, although that's the excuse I'd have given. You'd have to come up with something, wouldn't you? You go to the doctor and you go, oh, I feel terrible, doc. Doctor goes, oh, I'm not surprised. You go, is it ME? Worse than ME. You wish you had ME. You shouldn't be laughing about it. He's got terrible news. No, terrible doctor. You're the first human to contract AIDS. Is that bad? Can be. Still laughing. It should be... How would I have got that? 2 ways. 1, you were fucking a chimp up the arse. Fucking a chimp up the arse? Me? No way. How else could I have got it? Oh, I don't know, you could have been chopping a chimp up, cut your finger, that one. Choppy, chimpy finger, one. I bet he went straight out into the jungle and found that chimp and went, you gave me AIDS. Oh, what? You gave me AIDS. I gave you a blowjob. Shush. No, I got AIDS from you. Well, where did I get AIDS from? From eating monkeys. I don't eat monkeys. You're either eating them or fucking them. I was eating them. That's how it happened. Always learning. Global warming. That's the big one. That's the one they're trying to get celebrities to endorse. And it is the big one, I suppose. It's the end of the world, but it can bring brilliant weather to England. Serious point, though, isn't it? How'd you go to Bob in Yorkshire, who's had a lovely summer, he's playing cricket and barbecuing, and you go, it's all got to stop, Bob. All got to stop. You can't drive your car anymore. You can't use aerosols because you'll eventually stress out some Eskimo. He's not going to give a fuck, is he? Sorry, that's racist. Oh, sorry. I don't know what's come over me tonight. I'm really sorry. You can't say Eskimo anymore. They want to be called Inuits. So, I don't know who's complaining. You live in snow. Who's going, oh, Gervais called us what? Oh, my blood's boiling. Which is a good thing here. No, the first Eskimos, oh, sorry, racist, Inuits, migrated from Asia across land masses that are no longer there, and they settled in the polar regions of northern Canada, Siberia, and Greenland. And when they got there, and the one in front went, this is all right, isn't it? Why didn't the one at the back go, what? Should we settle here? Forever? Are you serious? Yeah, why not? Because I'm fucking freezing. Let's keep walking, let's find a tree. Fucking hell. But the scariest statistic that I've heard about the erosion of this planet in recent years is that by 2030, there'll be no fish in the sea. According to a CNN report, best estimate, no fish by the year 2030. And I blame Comic Relief. Remember that stupid slogan they came up with? Give a man a fish, and he'll eat for a day. Give a man a fishing rod, and he'll go fucking mental, won't he? Another one, another one. Give me that. Give him a fish, greedy bastard. Comic Relief. Not a year goes by where Richard Curtis doesn't call me up and go, oh, Ricky, Africa's still the poorest place on the planet. It's riddled with AIDS and famine. It's war-torn. Would you like to go there? And so, no, it sounds fucking awful. You're really not selling it to me, Richard. Once he's called me and it wasn't about that. He offered me a part in The Vicar of Dibley. And I said, tell me about this Africa trip again. Oh, she started it. It's not a disease. When I first got famous, I knew that if I put myself in the office as opposed to just stay behind the scenes, my life would change, but I wanted it was an upshot of what I did. Fame wasn't the driving force, that the work was, and I didn't want to be lumped in with those celebrities that do anything to become famous. Do you know what I mean? And I was very prickly about the whole subject, and one of the first interviews I did after The Office broke in about 2001, the journalist really rubbed me up the wrong way with this question. She said, so what advice would you give to anyone else who wants to become famous? And I went, I'd tell them to go out and kill a prostitute. Which I thought was a really clever answer. She looked at me like I was mental. And I didn't do this bit in Ipswich. A local paper called me from Ipswich, and she went, are you worried about offending people? I went, well, yeah, because it's what I do. And she went, no, but the joke's about the Ipswich murder. I went, it's not a joke about the Ipswich murder. That's a true anecdote. I really said that to a journalist, and it happened 6 years before the Ipswich murders, which ruined her angle a little bit. And she actually went, oh, did you hear about the Ipswich murders, and that's what reminded you? I went, no. It's nothing to do with murder, it's a slight on fame. It's like going, well, if you just want to become famous, do something horrendous. That was... And I explained it to her, and she went, oh, well, thanks very much. So the next day, she went with the headline, Ricky Gervais apologises for sick joke. I thought, what are the rules? I've explained it to her, and she does these vox pops and this whole sort of string of Chinese whispers. Oh, that's racist. I'm so sorry about this. I don't know what's come over me. Suggesting that Chinese people can't whisper. Sorry about that. That would be a strange racial trait, wouldn't it? Bigots getting hold of that one, going, the trouble with the Chinese is they can't fucking whisper. What? They can't whisper. Of course they can. They can't. The Chinese cannot whisper. Watch this. Chang, whisper to me. Hello! Oh, for fuck's sake. Shouting hero must be racist. Come on. On the same day, The Sun published a picture of Jade Goody with the caption, "Racist scum." They published a picture of that Chinese snooker player with the caption, "Pot noodle." But when the journalist said to me, "Oh, what advice would you give to be famous?" and I tend to go to the prostitute, it's meaning, look, if you think that's all you care about, just being famous, you can do something terrible if that's the only aim. Serial killers want to become famous. The way it's going, where people do anything to be famous, I can imagine people at home now reading the paper going, "This rapist is getting a lot of column inches." Do you know what I mean? Where will it end? Have you seen those adverts on telly for rape? Not adverts for rape, not... Starts 10 a.m, everyone must go. No, it's... It's two blokes, and one of them's bragging. He's going, "Yeah, got off with a lovely bird the other night. We was kissing and cuddling. Then it got a bit more serious, and I shoved her down onto the sofa, and he morphs, and he's in court. And the voiceover goes, 'If you don't get consent, you could go to prison for rape.' What sort of society has to remind someone not to rape?" Was there people going, "Just off out raping, mum"? Oh no, remember? Remember the advert? What? You can't rape. I can't what? You can't rape. I can't what? Whose idea was that campaign? Going, "We got to remind them." Was there people in court with the judge going, "Why did you rape her?" "I forgot." You